All right, guys. Hello, everyone. This is a very quick tutorial about the conservation of energy lab. This lab is actually quite simple. It's a good rest from the previous labs where you had to do some graphs, some calculations. This one is just playing with a ramp to observe the changes between potential and kinetic energy. It's just a conservation of energy lab. No calculations on force, kinetic frictional forces, or etc. The idea with this lab is to create a ramp like this using this simulator and analyze the changes, the interchanges between potential and kinetic energy. So you are going to use the measure lab here, and you're going to activate the grid so you can clearly see the height. So you start at 8 meters, and you can go to 7, 6, and then 4 and 5. And you should leave this at 5. And as you decrease the heights, you may want to decrease this a little bit. At the end of the day, what matters is the initial and final positions to measure the energy. Now, to measure the energy, you're going to use this device, kinetic energy, potential energy, no thermal energy because there's no friction. All right? And you can change the mass, you know, from the lecture that won't matter, since we're looking at the conservation of energy. Leave it as 9.8 meters per second squared for gravity. And that's pretty much it. So, for example, if I let the skater here, right here, then you can pause the simulation. And you see all these dots? You can move this in here and you can measure the kinetic and potential energies at the beginning and at the end. Now, you could slow down the simulation. And it will allow you to maybe capture more dots where you need them. But as you can see, it's the same, so it won't really matter. And you just basically have to fill in the table here. Initial potential energy, initial kinetic, final potential, final kinetic, final potential. I have to change this. This is final kinetic energy. And 8, 7, 6, 5 meters. You have trials there, 4 different heights. And then you will have the mechanical energy table. The mechanical energy is the addition of potential and kinetic energy, initial and final. So for each height, you will have different values. All right. Excuse me for a second here. Hello. That's the college about inclement weather. That's what happens. Okay. So if you have any questions about that, by the way, don't forget to do a percentage error. All right. And answer the questions at the end of the lab. The lab is actually pretty easy. It's a conservation of energy lab, so you don't have to worry about friction again. I will take advantage of this easy lab and try to go forward and do after this the specific heat lab. All right, I will upload a tutorial about this lab later. This lab will require more calculations. All right, I'm hoping you're following all these videos. That if you have any questions, you can send them through Canvas or by email. And in general, like if you have any questions, we can always have an online meetup or an interchange via maybe Canvas chat or messages or announcements. Okay. So again, the lab is just about this. Don't worry about any graphs. In the lab, they mentioned things about graphs. The graph section was changed. So now the simulator just have this series of ramps that you can build to actually explore the conservation of energy. All right. So If you want to play with it, you can do it. Normally in the lecture, I use this to show students about the conservation of energy. It's a very good app. All right, as you can see, you can do a whole bunch of things in here and measurements, right? All right, so have a good rest of your day, guys, and I will see you in the next tutorial.